was a wonderful weekend. On Thursday, we had a really close match against NAU. Same kind of a match as we had with them in Flagstaff earlier in the year, so it was tough to have kind of the repeat of that, but also really encouraging at the same time, because I feel like they are a lot better than they were when we played them the first time, with some players that they had previously had injured returning to the roster. So that was a really good start to our weekend, and then to gain momentum from that and go into our match against Southern Utah on senior night with all of the emotions running high. I think to do what we did and be just driven to hit our details and do so in a very professional way, with a lot of high energy, with kind of everybody stepping up equally. We had equally effective numbers pretty much from every part of our offense, and serving and serve receive. So it was just a very clean match. And I was going into it thinking, well, with the emotions of senior night, that it could be a little bit of a roller coaster. Sometimes that happens. So I was really, really impressed with how steady we were, and how determined, because I think the bigger picture is still looming out there, and that's what we're trying to do with our postseason. So yeah, it was great. Wonderful send-off for the seniors in Dahlberg, and just it really couldn't have happened better, except for obviously a sweep. But that would have been my only wish for more, I guess.
What does this do, this momentum moving forward, heading into the postseason?
Oh, I think I can't say enough how much momentum I feel like we have, and I think, we revisit the stats after every match, win or loss, in the past, all of our matches, obviously, but in the past 5 matches or so, and we keep getting better through our wins and our losses. And the areas of our game that we keep addressing in practice and fine-tuning, they show up on the weekend, which is just a thrill to coach a group that can do that, who can make adjustments so quickly, and who just buys into the details on that level. And so it's fun, and it gives us a ton of confidence and calm going into each match. Because in the beginning of the year, there were moments when we felt like, all right, if we show up and play well, good things are going to happen, but it felt a little out of our control almost, whether we were going to show up and be kind of firing on all cylinders, where now we've learned how to take control of that process, and we show up and we're ourselves no matter where we go, which that's a really fun feeling.
We've seen in other sports, teams that kind of sneak into the playoffs and the nothing to lose phrase is out there, and then they go on a run. Like, how would you say it feels like that is an actual thing. So what is that like for you guys when you feel like, hey, new season, we got nothing to lose?
No, I feel like we kind of went into that mentality kind of at the halfway point in conference of just, we're falling short in these areas. We know exactly where they are. Let's get to work on them, and then what do we have to lose? Let's see what we can do. And I feel like that relaxation, that playing free and loose, kind of launched us through the second part of the half, or the second part of conference, and then we kept getting results. And so from there, just being able to rely on that process again in practice just gave us more confidence, and it's kind of just fed off itself. So yeah, we're at the point where we feel like we take control of things that we want to, and it's ours to take, which I think, to me, we're hyper motivated by it. But I do think there's moments where it's like, okay, we have to get it done now, which is the program that we want to be. So I'm glad we worked through that phase of like, hey, let's see what happens, because we're really good like that. But I want us to be a program that's also really good when it's like, you have to get this done now against whatever teams across the net. To me, that's a sign of maturity, and a sign of like a really stable program. So I'm glad we're working right there.
Katie, what about from the player's perspective on that?
Yeah, I think it is so fun to be the underdog coming into these games. I think no one really expected much from us due to just the beginning of the season, kind of like what Allie was saying, just kind of figuring things out. And I think it was so fun for us to just figure it out ourselves and in our own gym. And no one really knew the things we were working on behind the scenes. And I think that was so fun to be able to finally see production from what we were working so hard in every day. And so I think that was just awesome, just finally getting those results, getting things that we've just been working on and no one else has really seen it. And I think knowing that we can do it, and our coaches knowing that we can do it, and I don't know. I just think it's been awesome these past couple weeks.
Kind of along those lines, in sports you have teams that, they're 1 year away, they're 2 years away. Do you guys kind of feel like, teams were underestimating, and both of you girls were underestimating you, and now you're kind of like, you're in there and you're not 1 year away, you're kind of living now in the moment? We'll start with you.
Yeah, I definitely think that. I think just as we started, teams were kind of like, yep, this is Montana, not really know what to expect, so we were so young. And now I think, like Allie was saying, the middle of the season, I think we just hit the ground running, and we got this momentum burst, and it's just been so fun to finally see like our team just mesh so well together. And I think we are like changing Montana volleyball, and I think we are creating this huge name for ourselves, and it's so fun just because people don't expect that from us, and I think we're able to kind of break the barrier and create our identity, and that was like the whole beginning of our season was who is Montana volleyball, and I think we're finally like reaching the brink of that, and that's so fun.
That's a great answer. You like knock that out of the park. I don't know if there is anything to add to that. I think the work that the seniors have done, I think in any kind of turnover year where, we graduated a ton of impactful seniors last year, there's that little bit of unknown of, okay, the program's gonna feel the effects of that and have to gain its ground and gain its identity again. And so that was reflected a little bit in the coaches poll and things like that. And there were just so many unknowns. And so being able to kind of work through that on our own terms has been a really fun thing. And then to emerge as the team that we thought we could be, and still have those unknowns in front of us. Who knows how good we can get by the end of the season. I think it's just been the most fun that I've had here so far, and it's great to see our freshmen especially take that on as a part of their identity in this new era of Griz volleyball. I think they're pushing the standard really high, higher than it's ever been before, and yeah, this is the new us, and they're carrying that through the next 4 years.
Catie, a lot's been made of Missy's position switch to the middle, but also a large part of that has been you filling Missy's old spot. And maybe just talk a little bit about how you feel like you've progressed since the start of your freshman season to now coming to the close of your freshman year.
Yeah, I think what helped the change be so successful was honestly Missy. From the beginning, when we found out that we were switching positions, she was like, yep, let's do it. Let's run with it. And I think just having that leadership role from her, just being so confident and so competitive and just wanting to win however she can, that just paved the way for me to be confident and for me to go forward and just do the best I can. And I think I've gotten so much more comfortable on the right side, and I think the coaches have instilled so much confidence in me. And each game I get more confident, and I just want to produce for the team. And I think definitely having Missy produce in the middle with so easily, 'cause she's a stud, just makes it easier for me to be like, okay, Missy's doing this, I need to do my job. And so yeah, definitely hats off to Missy. She's been a huge example for this.
Coach, you've been putting it off for a couple weeks, not wanting to talk about the conference tournament, but now we're at a point where it's basically, you get a win this week and you qualify. And so maybe just kind of take us through a little bit about kind of the focus. Probably doesn't change, but just kind of now that you're at this point where you're in control of your future.
Right. It feels really good, and it finally feels close enough to where we can kind of balance thoughts and the larger focus of that being there and attainable and something we're working towards, and also be in the present moment at the same time. I'm going to say what I always say, which is we're just taking it with the match in front of us. That's where our focus is. But I really liked how our team rallied around extending our season to have more time with our seniors and to have more time with this group. I think, I don't know, I feel like our group, in a really genuine way, loves to practice, loves to train, loves to play together. And so it's been a really, just a really enjoyable and joyful feeling to fight for more time together at a point in the season where, we've been in season what feels like a long time. And so especially with a young group that sometimes we haven't been through a ton of seasons, and the cycle feels long at this point. But to me, I'm like, I just don't want this to end, and I feel that from our team. And so it's an emotional connection too to fighting through that. But yeah, we know what we have to do, and I think we have a lot of confidence to go really. We've been playing well both away and home, so we have a lot of confidence knowing we can show up, play our game, and we'll be in the match. So yeah, we're excited, and our expectation is to be going on next week. So it's great.